Hi everyone, Louise here. I'm going to show you today how to make a slider card. I had made this card with the slider and a few people had asked for a little tutorial on how to do a little slider card. They're actually quite easy and that's what we're going to do today. So plan for today is to make something similar to this, obviously not the same thing. And I am going to use Cottontail, this one for Cottontail. And the plan is I've just picked a circle size that I know I want to use. I have the dies measured up and I have used the scallop circle for this card. So this is the back layer that I want to use, so I had to pick a circle that was smaller than that I wanted to have the edges coming out. And I also needed a cottontail that I'm going to put on the circle now, but you want a circle that's big enough to take cottontail but small enough that goes inside this. So a lot of the glider card has to do with a little bit of pre-planning, that everything fits. That's the main thing, that things fit. So for this card I picked, so you need a circle. For me, I need a circle die. I have my scallop die and I need a glider die. You can cut this yourself, you don't need a die, but if you want, for me, just being easier, I had a glider, I had a slider die, and you need gliders. So these are gliders. Now you can use, if you don't have gliders, you can use what they're called like penny sliders. So you cut like a little circle and you cut the like little bits off it and you fit it in the glider, in the slider. But for me, I have gliders, so when I'm making a glider card, so that was there, and behind here is the glider. Okay, now you can look up YouTube how to use gliders without gliders or something to that effect. So what I have done is I have cut this out of a piece of a card. Okay, so here we go. This is here. So the things to learn from me today, that mistakes I've made in the past. When you are, so your glider looks like this. I don't like this look. So different people do different things. This is what I do. So I cut a second circle. So I know I'm going to stick these together, that they will have, so it just makes the glider a little bit less visible, as you can see here. Otherwise you get a look like that, which I don't like. Some people try and slot the glider, the piece out, slot it back in this piece, but I find when I mount it up it just doesn't work as well for me. This method works for me. So I have two circles cut. So the trick is, which I didn't do it well on this card, I cut too high on the circle. So this one you can see I've cut lower. And the reason for that is these get stuck together. Okay, I don't need this, or the glider slider. I'll just move them out of the way. So I cut further down so that when I'm sticking these together with my double-sided tape, it's not just the tape that has to fit, the glider has to fit as well. So originally when I was looking at it, I was thinking, oh yeah, my double-sided tape will fit up there. Even now I've made it quite narrow. The glider has to be able to glide. That's the point of it. And well, if it's fine here, when you stick your layer on, your double-sided tape, and next thing you stick double-sided tape that's too near the glider gets stuck. So the biggest thing with it is making sure you cut this low enough that cottontail fits. So this is where all the pre-planning comes from. What size circle do I need? What size cottontail? Where is cottontail going to be? And yeah, so this is the plan. So that's our glider starting off. I am going to colour in Cottontail. And to do that, I just put a piece of paper down so that I can colour him. I am going with grey browns for Cottontail today because, well, I like grey brown. That would be, or brown grey. That would be the main reason. I like grey brown, but I like grey brown with this colour as well. So we're just going to colour him in nice and quickly. I could have coloured him beforehand, but I know that I get a lot of requests to show my colouring. I am not the best colour person in the world. I use alcohol markers, and I bought some pencils, colouring pencils, and I'm trying to teach myself how to use them. And they're not going that well at the moment, so I'm sticking to the markers, which I am comfortable with for the moment, because I can colour him in nice and fast, circular motions up along here. I was going to give him, what do we do? Give him a little roundy eye, a little patch, give him a little patch, and I kind of went over his nose there, but that doesn't matter because I'll do his nose darker. So let's give him a little patch today. Nothing too dramatic. I'm going to just come up a shade. We're going to do some of the edges. A little bit of shading thrown in. Now you can spend a lot longer on this. I have spent a lot longer at different times. But for the sake of the video, we won't spend too long. We'll just kind of come down one side in here, come along in there, kind of do it a little bit better, and that kind of thing. And as we said before, nobody is staring upright at the card like we are. When you're colouring, you are overly analysing it, and most of the time it is fine. Now, just try and give them a little bit of shading, a little bit more. So I'm jumping around between brown grey 2, brown grey 3, and maybe what is this one? Brown grey 2, 3. I think that's 5. It's faded a bit there. Well, what's this one? This one's 5, so that's probably 4 or 5. I'm not really sure. So yeah, I might do a little bit down into his belly, just not to have it so kind of defined with the white. It's not complete, you know, just play around with it. See what you like as well, you know, because different people like different things. Sometimes dotting like this can give a sense of texture. And yeah, because I'm going with the lilac, I'm going to go with dusty purple as well, which I like. Yeah, dusty purple can be a little bit dark sometimes, but I'll just bring a little bit in. Not too much, he's not completely purple, but just enough to give a hue of it. I'm not going to be too exciting with that. Leave it down here. Just a hint. He's not a purple bunny. Colour it up a bit. And I just want to bring in a little bit darker here. Something a bit of here, because when you do move away, they can lose a bit of definition. That you kind of want, that when someone's standing far away, they can see the bunny. And what am I missing? Oh, we'll just put a bit of grey on the bottom, just ground them out a bit. Oh, I think this is my grey that doesn't work. I Grade 2. Now, if you kind of go out this side, I don't go out that side, because then the light is coming from east, west, somewhere. Okay, so my plan, and you also, there's a few things you have to think about with your card. So we're going to have our layer, like if you're doing a glider, you have to think about what is gliding, apart from anything. So I decided, like, something has to fly by. So I decided for Cottontail to do a butterfly, because he's looking up. Oh, I forgot to do his nose. Let's just go. Oops. I have to have a nose, Cottontail. Where's my dark? Brown. There. So what I want is Cottontail is looking at a butterfly gliding over and back. So I used the smallest butterfly from the Elegant Butterflies set, and I cut from scraps from this notepad. I cut the little background there. I cut a little one in like a light lilac there, and then I just cut his body. So the things to remember with what's gliding past, it can be a cloud, it can be a bee, envelopes, whatever you want it to be, but it needs to be big enough on the back that the glider can stick to it. So you don't want something tiny and you got this big piece of plastic like shoving through. So now we've got them coloured up, nothing dramatic with the colouring. So you pop your glider in, front and back, top and bottom. So there's our glider, it is in. They come with little sticky dots that you put on the glider. Okay, and we are going to stick our butterfly to it. There. So now our butterfly is on the glider. That's as basic as the gliders work. So we're going to have a card where Cottontail is looking at the little butterfly flying over and back. So now the pain, I won't finish that. The pain part of doing it is just kind of making sure your tape is going to be narrow enough. So I use the big, huge, sticks to anything, double-sided tape. So in going up as high as I can, see, the glider can still go glide on by. Hey, joke. And so this is, at all times you're making sure your glider can pass. And I was aware of this when I cut the section. I was aware of, you have to be aware of how much, you have to have enough strength that the card, well, the card is going to get stuck back together, so it's fine, but like that you're going to be going very close up the top. It's a circle as well, so sometimes you can just like not cut individual strips, but you need this to just fit. So you're going along nice and fiddly. And small. Now I can see this one here is getting a little bit, like that's going to cause a bit of a problem. So we'll just move this down here a bit. I think I went, sorry, I'm just making sure I'm in camera. So this is the joy of, so this is what you start doing. You start getting the tape and cutting it in two. So we got our skinny bits. This is what takes hours when you're doing a card. This is the fun of making handmade cards. This is why no one appreciates that you spent 9 hours making a card. But then you have a lovely card. I'm just going to move that bit down there because it's still a bit fat. Okay, we can move. That's the end of it there. So can you move? Moving. I'm still happy with the movement. And there's a bit more room on this because obviously I didn't center the card quite perfectly. I'll put this skinny bit over here since I have some of it left. Okay, so obviously, like I said in the past, you can fast forward through all of me sticking a bit of sellotape onto the card. But this is how they're made. So that one's getting a little bit tight for my liking. So we'll just cut it. Go up along here and a little along here. So that way you've got your full piece of tape all the way around the top. And then for in the middle bit, you just want to make sure like that you don't go too near. You want to keep everything running smoothly, but you also want it to be very supported. That's why you're putting so much tape on the back, because everyone wants to glide the glider. So if you don't put enough tape, next thing there'll be a hole in your card or something to that effect. So let's just keep making our way. We're still happy. We're still happy. It doesn't have to be as complete because this is what people will see at the top of the card when they have a little look to see how did you make a glider. So it doesn't need to be as complete. You just want to make sure that it's going to be nice and strong. So then at this point, you can now see that your glider is fully functioning in there, which means it's fully functioning out here. And we're going to have a really cute little card. So then you just kind of go back to normal sort of tape levels. Let's get me some more tape. And so it does involve having to pull the backing off all of this tape all the way through, but that's fine too. Okay, so now we have our piece ready like this, and we are going to, I am now going to take all the backing off on this. So while I'm doing that, I'll just say tomorrow, Saturday, there is the restock at 12 o'clock UK time in the afternoon, and there will be a small restock of Cottontail, and that will have to be reordered because the demand has kind of gone up a bit. So if you don't get it tomorrow, it will be reordered, so don't panic. But we also have a brand new launch of Cottontail Party Time, which is my second stamp set being, sorry, you can see I'm making a bit of progress here. Cottontail Party Time, I think you're going to love it. Kind of the name gives it away of who's in it, and I just keep hitting my finger off the table there. And yeah, I think he's going to be popular. So I hope you love it, and I absolutely can't wait to see Cottontail party cards. And yeah, so that's at 12 o'clock tomorrow. And there is a restock of all the current dies on the site. So now stick together. There we go. So now it looks like this. Here's your piece. You got a full working glider. This is how I do it, right? If how you do it, there's lots of ways. So I want to now stick this to this and this to the card. For me, the card is I don't want to, I'm going to stick it all. I'm going to stick this flat because it is, oh, there it is. Sorry, I lost my double-sided tape. It is raised already, so I don't want to double raise it. And I hope you're enjoying the videos. There's a bit of technical work with this card, and as I said, if it's a little boring, just once you don't need to watch me do the whole thing, you can fast forward. But I do really appreciate everyone watching, the comments. I love getting the comments. I'm so new to it with the videos, so I do really, really, really appreciate the feedback, because I just like knowing if you're enjoying it or not. And yeah, the feedback's lovely. And thank you everyone for subscribing. If you're watching and not subscribing, I would love if you could subscribe. Getting to 1,000 subscribers is a big mile mark on YouTube. It just means you can go into different levels with it. And so I would love to grow my channel. It's very enjoyable and I love chatting to everyone. I've decided I'm going to raise this because, well, the background is a little plain for me here now, so I wanted to put an edging die on it. So this is what my plan is. This is what we call an edging die. I've used one from my stash. It's a unbranded die that I have. It's an edging die, and you literally put it on the edge and run it through your machine. I don't know where that's from. And I've also put on the hearts from the Craft Addiction mini tag set. I also made a mini tag that I just realized I forgot to include there. Okay, so how do I, the joys of live videoing. I have to see, did I leave in all my chat, did I leave any gap there? Because the whole, we might get it through. We just might get it through. There's a bit of a gap there somewhere. I saw it. There we go. See, all is not lost. That was a bit of luck, wasn't it? The upside out not being. So this is from the mini tags one as well. So I just put it on with love. I like this one. And I'm just going to tie, nothing too much going on here now, because I want it to not interfere with the glider. So I'm going to try and tie it off to the side a bit. What am I doing? Oh, it's probably to do with the way the sellotape is. The double-sided foam tape. Oh, there we go. I don't know if I'll do a bow or not, because as I've said previously, I hate tying bows, I hate doing bows, but just for the sake of that, I will put one on for the moment, and I will see if it affects the glider or not. Or I might just do, I'll just cut it. Now, don't have to worry about doing a stupid bow. Just make sure it is nice and tight. There we go. And not interfering with our glider. No. I might tidy that up a bit. But anyway, that's there. So, side edging die with love, little hearts. And that is our card. I'll just take this out of the way. Oh, I have to stick it down. It's going to be, so we just decided with double-sided tape, didn't we? Or did I? Yeah, I am going to raise it. And I love raised cards. I know they aren't always too post friendly, but they trying to keep it in view of the camera. Oh, there's my dog again, Tintin. He likes to be in here. He was in here when I was just about to start, and then he started crying to get out. And now he has decided, because he can hear me talking, that he wants to come in. So let's just, we'll just let him in because it's easier than him trying to scratch my door down. No. He's now staring at me. Why am I not with you, Mummy? I like to be nearer. He's the same color as my floor, so he blends in with the floor a lot. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, and I would love your feedback on what you think of Cottontail Party Time. As I said, if you don't get the Cottontail one, it's just they will be reordered again, so don't panic. Now there's that one, and there's our card. Just stick it down with some double-sided tape, and here we go. This is our glider card. There we go. Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.